This company managed to hide over $60 billion in debt. Enron was an energy giant that traded in natural gas, oil, and electricity. They were also masters of hiding their debt. In the 1990s, Enron borrowed billions of dollars by taking on huge risks. But instead of using that money to invest in their business, they used it to buy other companies and expand into new industries. They also used it to give huge bonuses to their executives. The problem was, these executives didn't have the experience or the expertise to run these new businesses, and as a result, Enron's profits began to disappear. But Enron didn't want to admit that they were in trouble. So instead of being honest with their investors, they cooked the books and hid their debt. They did this by creating special purpose entities, or SPVs. These were basically shell companies that existed only to hide Enron's debt. Enron would sell their bad assets to these SPVs and then take the money and use it to pay off their loans. This made it look like Enron was in great financial shape when in reality they were a ticking time bomb. In 2001, one of Enron's SPVs was about to collapse. So Enron's executives did something desperate. They asked another one of their SPVs to bail it out. But this put a lot of pressure on that SPV, and it wasn't able to get enough money to save both itself and Enron. On October 2nd, 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy. The news of Enron's collapse sent shockwaves through the economy. Thousands of people lost their jobs and their pensions, and the entire energy industry was thrown into chaos. So how did Enron get away with it? Well, one reason was that Enron was a huge company with a lot of political connections. They were also very aggressive in their accounting, and they didn't hesitate to push the limits of what was possible. In fact, they were able to get away with it for so long because they were constantly one step ahead of the regulators. But eventually, the truth caught up with them, and Enron's collapse was one of the biggest corporate scandals in history.